my dear friends, my name is Megha and welcome to my channel Score Points. I am going to teach Chapter 1, Part B, Reproduction in Organisms. In the previous video, we have learned about asexual reproduction. Now, let's learn about sexual reproduction in detail. When two parents of opposite sex participate in the reproductive process, there is an involvement of fusion of male and female gamete. This is called sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, it's a complex process. It's a very slow process as compared to asexual reproduction. Because there is an involvement of fusion of male and female gamete, offspring is not identical to the parent. That is, variation can be seen in sexual reproduction. But asexual reproduction, it's the exact copy or blueprint of that of the parent. Now let's learn about the difference between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction involves a single parent, whereas sexual reproduction involves two parents of opposite sex. There is also formation and fusion of gametes. The offspring produced as a result of asexual reproduction is morphologically and genetically identical to the parent. The offspring produced in sexual reproduction is not identical to the parent and exhibits variation. Asexual reproduction is a simple, fast process. Sexual reproduction, it is an elaborate, complex and slow process. Asexual reproduction involves mitosis. Sexual reproduction involves meiosis. Asexual reproduction has no important role in evolution process as there are no variation since the offspring is exactly identical to the parent. Sexual reproduction has important role in evolution process as there occurs variation. Asexual reproduction is common among single cellular or unicellular organisms, plants and animals with relatively simple organization. Sexual reproduction is common in higher animals with complex organization. All organisms have to reach a certain stage of growth and maturity in their life before they can reproduce sexually. So we have three main phases of life. One is juvenile phase, which is also called as vegetative phase in plants. Second one is the reproductive phase and third one is senescence or old age. Juvenile phase is the period of growth. End of juvenile phase or vegetative phase marks the beginning of reproductive phase, and the end of reproductive phase marks the beginning of senescence or old age. Now let's learn about three types of plant. One is annual plant, then biennial and perennial. Annual plant is a plant that grows completely in 1 year. That is, they can germinate and produce seeds, flower and die in 1 year. Examples of annual plant are corn, wheat. Biennial plants are those plants that take 2 years to complete its biological life cycle. Example, onion. Perennial plants are those plants that live more than 2 years. Example, apple, strawberry. Few plants exhibit unusual flowering phenomenon. Example, bamboo and Strobilandus kundiana. Bamboo, it flowers once in their lifespan. Generally after 50 to 100 years, it can produce large number of fruits and then die. Strobilandus kundiana, it's also called as Neelakurni flower. It flowers once in 12 years. Its mass flowering is seen in hilly areas of Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The females of placental mammals exhibit cyclic changes in the activities of ovaries and accessory duct as well as hormones during reproductive phases, and we have two cycles based on it. One is estrous cycle and other is menstrual cycle. We have to learn the difference between the two cycles. So estrous cycle, it occurs in non-primates. Example is cow, sheep, rat, dog, etc. Menstrual cycle, it occurs in primates like monkeys, apes, humans. Then estrous cycle, it continues until death, whereas menstrual cycle, it has a menopause. It continues only till menopause. Estrous cycle involves no uterine bleeding, whereas menstrual cycle, it involves uterine bleeding. Events in sexual reproduction. We have mainly three events. One is pre-fertilization event. Pre means before, so before fertilization. Then the second event, it's fertilization. Third one is post. Post means after fertilization. So post-fertilization events. We have to learn about these three events: pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization event. In pre-fertilization event, we have two main processes. One is gametogenesis and the second one is gamete transfer. In post-fertilization or after fertilization, we have two main important terms: zygote and embryogenesis. Now let's learn about pre-fertilization event, that is the first event, in detail. As we know, there are two main processes involved here. One is gametogenesis and the other one is gamete transfer. So first we learn about gametogenesis in detail. Genesis, the term genesis, it means formation. So gametogenesis means gamete formation. In this process there is a formation of male and female gamete. The gametes are always haploid in nature. So we know that for humans there is an ovum for female and sperm for male which is produced. Both of these gametes are N and N, that is haploid type. It fuses together to form a zygote which is diploid or 2N in condition. Gametes, based on their appearance, it is classified into two types. One is homogametes or isogametes and the other one is heterogametes or anisogametes. Iso or homo means same. So the male and female gamete have similar appearance. These types of gametes are called as homogametes, and heterogametes, anisogametes, it means distinct type. So male and female gametes are morphologically different in their structure. These types of gametes are called aniso or heterogametes. Examples for homogametes or isogametes. In your textbook you have isogametes of Cladophora. Cladophora is an algae. So you can see on the board the structure of Cladophora. Both male and female gamete, they have similar appearance. Example for heterogametes or anisogametes, it is fucus, which is an algae, and also human beings. Fucus, you can see on the board, the male gamete it's smaller and the female gamete is larger. And for human beings you can see the ovum, which is larger, and the sperm, which is smaller in size, and they are morphologically different. Sexual reproduction in organisms generally involve the fusion of gametes from two different individuals, but this is not always true. There are several exceptions. For that we have to learn different terms, that is homothallic and monoecious, heterothallic and dioecious. First one is homothallic and monoecious. This means bisexual condition, that is plants may have both male and female reproductive structure in the same plant. Heterothallic and dioecious, it means plants have both male and female reproductive structure in different plant, that is unisexual condition. To learn these terms easily, you can actually learn the diagrams. For example, Cara. Cara is having homothallic and monoecious condition. So you can see the diagram. It's having antheridium, male sex organ, oogonium, female sex organ. Both these structures are found on the same plant. So this is homothallic, monoecious and bisexual condition. That is male and female part on the same plant. It is homothallic, monoecious, bisexual condition. Now we can see the diagram of Marchantia. This is having heterothallic, dioecious, unisexual condition, which means male it's having an antheridiophore, it's found on the male plant. Archegoniophore for female, it's found separately on the female part. So this is heterothallic, dioecious or unisexual condition, that is male, female is found on different plants. In several fungi and plants, the term homothallic and monoecious or heterothallic and dioecious is generally used. But for animals, we use the term bisexual and unisexual in order to indicate the sexuality of organisms. Bisexual organisms are those organisms which possess both reproductive organ in same individual. Example, earthworm and bisexual flower of sweet potato. Unisexual organisms are those organisms or individuals of species with either male or female reproductive structure. Example is cockroach. Cockroach is typically a unisexual organism. The unisexual male flower it's called staminate. Unisexual female flower it's called pistillate. Now you can see the diagram of cockroach. It is a unisexual condition. Testis, which is a reproductive organ of male, it's found on the male cockroach body, and ovary, which is the reproductive organ of female, it's found on the female cockroach body. For an earthworm, the testis and ovary is found on the same individual. So this is a bisexual condition. The testis sac with testis and ovary, it's found in the same individual. Another example for bisexual condition is the flower of sweet potato. Stamen and carpel is found in the same flower. Stamen, it's the male reproductive part, and carpel, it's the female reproductive part. Both these are found on the same flower. Therefore, this is an example for bisexual condition. Worm, sponge, tapeworm, leech are typical example for bisexual animals that possess both male and female reproductive organ. They are also called as hermaphrodite. Earthworm, sponge, tapeworm, leech. These are example for hermaphrodites. In some flowering plants, both male and female flowers may be present on the same individual. This is called monoecious plants. Examples for monoecious plants are cucurbits and coconut. In some flowering plants, both male and female flowers may be present on different individual. This is called dioecious plant, that is, male and female flowers present on separate individual. Example for dioecious plants are papaya and date palm. Cell division during gametogenesis or gamete formation. Gametes are haploid or N condition. There are two types of gamete, male and female gamete. A haploid parent produces gamete by mitotic division. For learning this, we need to know about the two important terms, that is mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis, it's the equational cell division. Meiosis, it is a reduction division. Mitosis is exhibited by haploid parent. Monera, fungi, algae, bryophytes parental body is haploid in nature. Meiosis, this is a reduction division. The diploid parent divides to haploid by reduction division, that is 2n, it's the diploid condition. It divides by meiosis, that is reduction division, into n plus n condition. The pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms and most of the animals including human beings, the parental body is diploid. Very important term here is meiocytes. In diploid, that is 2n condition organisms, specialized mother cell called meiocyst or gamete mother cell undergo meiosis. The diploid parental body, which is 2n parental body, will undergo meiosis or reduction division and it will form haploid gametes, that is n plus n gametes. Now we can see the tabular representation of some organisms. Their chromosome number in meiocyte, that is 2n condition, chromosome number in gamete. First one, it's human beings. We have 46 chromosome, that is 2n condition, chromosome number in meiocyte. So in order to find the chromosome number in gamete, we have to divide 46 by 2. So we get 23. Similarly for housefly, meiocyte number it's 12. When we divide 12 by 2, we get 6. And for rat, it's 42. 42 divided by 2, we get 21. In these organisms, you have to learn human beings, fruit fly, Ophioglossum. It's very important. The table given, fruit fly, it's having least number of chromosome in meiocyte, therefore that is important. And Ophioglossum, which is a fern, it's having the highest in the above table, that is 1260 is the chromosome number in meiocyte. So you have to learn those three, human beings, fruit fly and Ophioglossum. We have learned about gametogenesis, different types of gamete, sexuality of organisms, etc. Now let's learn the second step of pre-fertilization event, that is gamete transfer. In most of the organism, the male gamete is motile and female gamete is stationary. That is, the male gamete will move, female gamete is at rest or not moving. We will see the example of human beings. Human beings, the male gamete, it's sperm. It is N condition or haploid condition, it is motile. Female gamete ovum, it is non-motile and it is also haploid N condition. Both gametes are motile in some fungi and algae. Water is the medium for gamete release, so a large number of male gametes are produced to compensate the loss during the transfer. Homogametic contact in algae. You can see the isogamete structure of Cladophora, which is an algae, on the board. Fusion of gametes have resulted in formation of a zygote. This zygote has now turned into a new individual. This is the homogenetic contact in algae Cladophora. Now we can learn how gamete transfer occurs in seed plants. In seed plants, pollen grains are carriers of male gamete. Ovule contain female gamete. Pollen grains are produced in anthers. Pollination occurs. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of a flower. Pollen grains will fall on the stigma and the pollen tube carrying the male gamete reaches the ovule, discharges the male gamete near the egg. This is the gamete transfer in seed plant. You can see the plot for the above session about sexual reproduction. The end of part B, reproduction in organism. Part C, which includes fertilization, post-fertilization event, I will be uploading it soon. So thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.